Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all okay. So this is my fourth trimester update video and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I cannot believe I am already sat here filming this video. Like, I cannot believe it is the end of my fourth trimester. I do not understand why time has gone, but here we are. So we're literally just gonna jump straight in and I'm just gonna share everything with you guys basically. So I really hope you enjoy and let's get started. So this isn't a birth video, I'm not gonna go into like loads and loads of details, but I do wanna give you guys like a bit of a brief kind of overview if you like. So basically I went into labour on the 31st of December, so New Year's Eve. I woke up and I was having some small contractions and they basically just increased throughout the day. Carried on playing with Kaya as you do, and then it was probably around like 3-4 p.m. that they really started to like build and get, you know, get a bit of oomph into them, let's put it that way. So that's when kind of my mum took Kaya so that I could just sort of breathe through them and focus on myself. And it was probably around 6 p.m. that I was like, right, we need to go to the hospital. I think with Kaya, a lot of the times when I'd rang up about going into the hospital, they were like, no, just stay at home a bit longer. No, stay at home a bit longer. You're not ready to come in yet. And for me personally with Kaya, like I found that, like, I don't know the right word that I'm trying to think of, but it was a bit like, oh, you know. So I kind of tried to put it off as long as possible until it was like, no, we do actually need to go in now. Like, I need to get to hospital. I need to know that I'm where I need to be. And we rang and they were amazing. They were like, yep, come straight in. So we got in, and as soon as we got there, they were obviously, you know, checked me over and were like, yeah, we need to get you through into the delivery suite. And we managed to ask if there was a birth pool free, and there was, which, guys, honestly, if you're thinking about a water birth, or, you know, if any of you guys have had one, share your experiences. But I absolutely loved it. I mean, still giving birth to a baby and it's painful, but the birth pool, like, I think was incredible. Like, they turned the lights how I wanted them, they set the pool up how I wanted them. I'll try and put a picture on if I can figure out how to do that, so that you guys can see. Like, I really enjoyed the environment that I was in, and for me personally, the pool really helped. But anyway, it carried on as you do, and eventually at 9:30 at night, my little girl was born. So I had another little girl, and if any of you guys don't know, we didn't know what we were having. We didn't find out. So it, honestly guys, it is amazing if you don't find out. I mean, each to their own, but I absolutely love the surprise. And she came out, and just then seeing and finding out that we obviously had a little girl was just incredible. So everything was absolutely fine in terms of like my labour and actually giving birth. But once she was born, she actually had some trouble with her breathing, so her oxygen saturations were quite low. So they did have to check her over, give her some oxygen, and they did have to take her to the neonate unit, which is something that I found really troubling. It's gonna make me upset. How ridiculous. She's absolutely fine, by the way. But I think for me, like, it's when your baby's born, you just want to hold them, you just want to be with them, and to have her taken off, even though it was only for such a brief time, literally just broke my heart. Like, not being able to be with her straight away and having to have her go off, and her dad went with her, so it was absolutely fine. But it, you know, it's such a big thing, and then for her to have to go was really upsetting. And like I say, she's absolutely fine. And anyone who has to do it for longer, like, this was literally just a couple of hours and then she was brought back to me and it was fine. But anyone who has to do it longer than that, like, oh my God, hats off to you guys, because I really struggled just with that small amount of time. But she is absolutely fine. And she was fine after a couple of hours. They just wanted to check her over. And yeah, she was fine. I had to go to theatre to have some stitches. And other than that, everything else has literally been absolutely fine. But I do just want to highlight that, you know, it's not traumatic, like, but no birth, I think, is straightforward. And I think that's really important to just be aware of as well. So yeah, that was birth basically. But she was born, she was £8. And like I say, she was born at 9:30 at night on New Year's Eve. And her name is Nova, and she's currently napping, but as soon as she wakes up, I will show you and you can see her properly. She was born with the most insane amount of hair I've ever seen on a baby, personally, which explains all the heartburn I had while I was pregnant. But yeah, she's beautiful. I love her so much. I'm just so happy. And Kaya has been the most incredible big sister. Like, I think there's always a worry, isn't there, when you've already got a child and you're adding in another one, about, are they gonna, you know, feel left out? Are they gonna get upset? All of those kind of things. But honestly, like, Kaya has just been so incredible. Like I literally cannot stress it enough. She's just been amazing. Like she just always wants to hold her, be with her, you know, play with her, even though she can't really do that yet. You know, she helps me do like bath times, and anytime I'm changing a nappy, she wants to be involved, and it's just so lovely. And if you guys don't follow me on Instagram or anything, I will link it down below, because I just put on my story like little videos of them, and it's just so sweet. Like it's so sweet, the love that Kaya has for Nova, but also watching Nova, like when Kaya talks, like her face just lights up, like she's just so happy anytime Kaya is around. That is, honestly guys, it's just beautiful. So that has gone so much better than I could ever have dreamed of, and I am really grateful for that, because I know some people struggle when they add in another baby, but it's just been amazing. And yeah, Kaya's been incredible. They are incredible together, like they are amazing sisters, and yeah, I'm just so happy. So as soon as she wakes up, I'll insert a clip here and you can meet Nova. Hi! So this is Nova, everyone. Hey baby, can you see yourself? Mwah. So that's Nova, and we are now going to jump into the, I guess, the nitty gritty, the stuff that's a bit TMI. So, you know, if you don't want to watch from here, that's absolutely fine. But this is the, you know, the ins and outs of how I have been getting on since I gave birth. So as I mentioned, I did have to go to theatre to have some stitches, and actually, surprisingly, I felt really good afterwards. Like surprisingly, way better than I did have to have stitches with Kai, but I didn't have to go to theatre for those. I actually felt loads better. It was really strange. Like obviously it was painful, and definitely take your pain relief when they offer it you. I literally just had paracetamol, but it just makes a difference staying on top of your pain. But moving around felt okay. Like I actually felt surprisingly all right. I did have heavy bleeding for a few days, but actually in the grand scheme of things, I felt okay. Like in that, like initially, like I was up, about, and overall, I just, like I say, I did feel really good. The other thing I definitely would say is, when they offer you laxatives, take the laxatives. After I had Kaya, I didn't get offered laxatives. I don't know if it's certain hospitals. I don't know if it's just that things have, I mean, it was only 5 years ago that I had Kaya, but I don't know if things have improved by then and it's more like a standard practice now. I don't know. But I got offered them with Nova, and I did take them, because I remember the first time I had to have a poo after having Kaya was, I think, as painful as giving birth to her. Now, I know that sounds a bit of an exaggeration, and maybe it is a little bit, but it was very painful. Whereas this time, having laxatives, world of difference. So I highly recommend that you take them if they offer them. And if they don't, I would ask if you're able to, or even buy, you know, I think you can go and buy laxatives from Boots and stuff. I mean, just follow how you're taking them and stuff, but do it, okay? But yeah, so like I say, I felt really good, felt all right. Now, my bleeding, it sort of, I can't remember how long I was bleeding for, but I had heavy bleeding like the first 2-3 days. And then after that, it sort of died off. However, my bleeding has been on and off, like since giving birth. And I did speak to the doctor about it, just because you expect it kind of, I guess, for the first 6 weeks or so, and then it was still sort of coming on and off. And they basically just told me that I was doing too much and that I needed to rest a little bit more. And I think it's because I felt so good, but also because I'm still trying to get the house sorted. I wanted to make it livable for us. I want to just try and get it, you know, into like a reasonable state. And so I was trying to blast through things, and they basically told me that I'm doing too much and I need to tone it down a little bit. So I have tried as much as possible. Then if you guys did watch my newborn essentials video, you know that I was hoping to breastfeed again this time around. I did breastfeed Kaya, and like I say, I was hoping to do it again this time, and I have been really lucky that I have been able to breastfeed again, and I'm still breastfeeding. So I am breastfeeding Nova, and this doesn't just go for like the breastfeeding, but everything with Nova has just been so much easier. And I know that's not the case for everyone with, you know, their second child, but it has just been not literally a breeze. I mean, it's still difficult. I'm still sleep deprived. You know, there's still lots of challenges, and there's still lots of ups and downs, and I'll speak about those a bit more in a minute. But actually, Nova as a baby has been so much easier, and I do think part of that is me knowing what I'm doing and me just feeling more confident in myself as a mum and what I'm doing. But I do think it's also a little bit Nova. I think she's a calmer baby in general, which has obviously made like a massive difference. But in terms of breastfeeding, she was straight on the breast. Literally, I've had no problems with her breastfeeding at all. with Kaya, like I say in my newborn essentials video, I mentioned that I had this nipple cream that was literally a lifesaver with Kaya, because my nipples got so like cracked and chapped, and it was so painful, and I sort of had to push through that to then enjoy breastfeeding. Whereas with Nova, I've literally not had any of that. Like, it has not hurt at all, and literally it's like night and day difference, which is insane. But like I say, it's been so much easier, so much better. And yeah, it's literally just going really well for us at the moment. I am not pumping. That is the only thing that I will say. I only pumped initially just to get rid of some of the excess milk, because it was just so uncomfortable. But actually now we've just found our routine. I'm really happy with it. She's feeding really well, but I just don't want to pump. I think at the point where we need to add in bottle, I will just get some formula. Like I say, pumping isn't for everyone, and with Kaya I did do it a little bit, but it actually just stressed me out more than anything else, trying to get enough milk off from each pump and spending so much of my day, you know, I'm already breastfeeding, and then to then be pumping, it was just personally too much, and I've just not put that pressure on myself this time around, so I just haven't been pumping basically. But breastfeeding itself is going incredibly. So I don't want to end this video on like negative, but I do want to talk about the things that have been harder, the slightly, like I say, the slightly more negative things, I guess, but they're part of having a baby, and that is your hormones and your emotions and things. I, with Kaya, did really struggle, and there were a lot of reasons, like the circumstances around, like with Kaya, as to why I did struggle after having her. And even though circumstances are not the same this time around, and things, like I say, Nova, it's been so much easier this time with Nova compared to with Kaya, but I have still been struggling. And like I say, I just think that's part of your hormones and your emotions, but it's just important to highlight, I guess. I am having ups and downs in terms of how I'm feeling, but not really linked to Nova, if that makes sense. With Kaya, I think a lot of the stuff that I found difficult was not knowing what I was doing, and, you know, feeling stressed if she didn't fit what another mum had said, or something that was online, or from something that I'd read, and she didn't fit into that would stress me out or make me nervous or get me down, and that's where a lot of that came from. Whereas this time around, I'm very much, which I did get there eventually with Kaya as well, but I'm very much like, she's my baby, I know what's best for her, you know, she's safe, she's healthy, she's feeding well, like, she's good, if you see what I mean. And I'm not really listening to any of that outside noise. Like, I don't follow, you know, any of those things on social media, and, you know, I'm not listening to people saying those things. And I did reach that point with Kaya as well. It's not that I don't care, it's just that I know what's best for my children, and like I say, they're safe, they're happy, we're good. But I am still getting those ups and downs, and even though it's not linked specifically to Nova and me worrying in that sense, those emotions are still there, and I do still have days where I don't feel good without me getting upset. And it's just important to make you guys know I'm not very good at talking about my emotions, especially on camera where anyone can watch it, and putting yourself out as being vulnerable. But having a baby is hard. Having kids is hard, actually. Scrap that. Whatever age they are, it is difficult, but that added in hormones after you've had a baby do just make it difficult. And yeah, some days I feel good and like I'm smashing it and I feel like my normal self, and then there's other days where for no reason at all, like nothing can have gone wrong, nothing can have happened, but I just don't feel good. And I'm not going to go in more detail than that, because I'm not very good at, like I say, I'm not very good at talking about my emotions, but just want to point it out and just want to make sure it's on there so that any other mums know that you're not alone and you're not the only one that feels like that. And it is okay, it's part of having a baby. Obviously, you know, if you are feeling like that all the time, or you feel like you need more support, I will say that my midwives, my health visitors have been incredible since, well, like when I was pregnant and since giving birth as well. So please reach out, you know, if you need more support, please reach out and get it, which I don't feel like I need at the moment. it is just moments, but do just want to highlight that it's not all sunshines and rainbows. And some days are difficult, so yeah. Sorry, I did not mean to end the video on a sad / negative note. But like I said, I just want to be honest with you guys about how I've been getting on. So this has been my 4th trimester update. If any of you guys have got any questions or you want to share any of your own experiences, please pop them down in the comments below. Please be kind, because, you know, like I've already said, being a parent and particularly a new mum is really difficult, so let's bear that in mind, please. And if you haven't already, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.